Ooh! Greetings, Wanderer. This is Atlas here, and welcome to the Void. Today I'm going to be reacting and breaking down a song called 115 from the Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies original soundtrack. This is one of the coffee personal requests that I had scheduled for this month, and this one comes again from Undone by Blood, and the comment says, "Hi Atlas, again I would like to request another song from the Black Ops 1 Zombies original soundtrack. This one is called 115 Elena Sichman. As I recall previously, Elena was the singer of the previous track. So I'm guessing that she's going to sing in this track also, alright? So I'm really looking forward to it. Onward. Alright. 115 from the Call of Duty Zombies Black Ops original soundtrack. Boom. Okay, this sounds, it's going to be a metal song too. Alright. Oh, nice groove. Oh. This part right here reminds me of Kitty. This is so mid-2000s metalcore. This is great. "115. Ooh! They did a blast beat right there. I was not expecting that. Great screams from the no. Really good. So many memories of the mid-2000s metalcore era, listening to this part specifically. I think the tuning is in A, or drop A. Great forward progression right there. Always works. Nice. There we have it. Yeah, full-blown metal song for sure. I gotta tell you, I like the performance, the vocal performance in this track more than in the previous one. But it's because the phrasing and the melodies in the track, very much specifically in the chorus of the track, is way more. I don't know. It's more earworm. It has more of an earworm sort of an effect, or at least it had it for me. So we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about the vocal approach and also, well, the metal element in the track, which is all around encompassing all the song, all right? So let's break it down. All right, so this breakdown is going to be very straightforward because, well, the song is a very straightforward metal song. Basically, really heavy. You know, it's the guitar is tuned in A or drop A. I'm using a 7-string guitar in drop A to be able to do some demonstrations in regards to the track itself, and that's why it sounds, you know, heavy. You know, because it has a lower tuning than you will hear. But to be fair, like tunings in B and A are not that heavy anymore, you know. I was mentioning this previously in the breakdown and the reaction and breakdown that I did for another track from this video game, which is Abracadabra. But in this in that track, apologies, I think that the track is using an 8-string guitar, so I couldn't play all the parts or most of the parts. But well, I did play most of the parts, I think, but it was using an 8-string guitar. And you know, you even have like more experimental ones like 9-string guitars and 9-string guitars and 10-string guitars, which have insanely low registers, you know, insanely low extended ranges. Where basically you're playing the like bass notes in the 9th, and well, even the 8-string guitar is basically like a guitar with an extra bass string, I would say. But yeah, it's not like you know, 7 strings in the 90s were used to be like the heaviest instrument to play metal and whatnot. And during the early 2000s. Some guitar players have started to experiment with 8-string guitars, and that became later more ubiquitous among the metal musicians and whatnot. Okay, but yeah, in regards to the track, like I said before, the chorus is very reminiscent of a mid 2000s metalcore. You know, Killswitch. Like Killswitch Engage became like the first thing that I remember from that era, but at the same time, you know, some of the other parts of the track are very much a little bit more modern in the sense that it comes from the tuning of in the guitar, like it's drop A. So let's check out some of the riffs and the sections of the track, you know, build upon that. All right. Something along those lines. I think that that's the thing. But yeah, it's basically like you know, 2 intervals right here. That's how the song starts. That's very, you know, a very popular pattern to use in metal in general. Very much specifically when you go to the extreme, more extreme genres or subgenres of metal music. You know, like in death metal. Very popular in you know, melodic death metal. Very specifically the Gothenburg scene that came from the 90s, like At the Gates, Dark Tranquility, In Flames. All those bands were very quintessential into expanding upon that. But yeah, it's just opening with these 2 intervals. It's a little bit tricky. If that's the part that it's playing right there. But of course, that's just the opening of the track. It gets much more interesting when it's playing this. Yeah, there it is. The very cool part in that particular riff is that it's mixing again the intervals, but at the same time is doing like full blown power chords with the. Well, I'm playing them with the octave, but. And okay, here is what I really like about the chords, the chord progression in that riff, is that it's basically comes from this. So that is like minor harmonic minor bass completely, and that's probably the main reason why it sounds so mean and dark. You know, I'm gonna be reading the lyrics to the song at the end to see if what the composition itself goes along with the lyrics, which I'm guessing it will be. But yeah, just listen to that progression of chords, right? Like. Oof, it's just so mean. And the coolest thing too is that they are being performed in some parts of the song in a very Middle Eastern kind of way, because you can perform those kind of things in a very classical music kind of way. So as you can hear there, that's more of a classical music kind of approach. But if you listen to the way it's performed in this part specifically, it has that Middle Eastern quality to it. And, Middle Eastern, scales and whatnot are very much based on that. There are minor scales that sound very gloomy and dark, let's say. But again, it also depends on how you perform them. Right, because like you heard before, this pattern is the same pattern. But when you perform it in a different way, then you can actually give it more of a flair, And in this particular case, this chord progression in the riff, that sounds way more approaching the Middle Eastern sort of sound instead of the classical music kind of thing. Then of course we have the chorus part, which to me it sounds more towards the influences there towards the mid 2000s to the late 2000s metalcore scene, very much specifically the American one, where you have something like. Yeah, something along those lines. But what makes different, what separates that part of a song with the other ones is that it has that rhythmic pattern in the riff, right? Or something along those lines. So there is a space to build upon the singing part of a track. When you have those spaces in between, it's a place where the singing becomes more I don't know how to say it. It just has more space to be present in the track because you don't have other instruments as much instruments participating in the song. So it gives more weight to what the lyrics are telling, you know, to what the singer is singing, and it's an accurate or I would say it was the right choice in my opinion, because that's the chorus of a song, and the chorus is most of the time the most important part of the song, where you know the main melody or the earworm is there, or the most important part of the lyrics are sang. Not all the time, but you know it's fairly common that is that way. Finally, I just would like to mention something that it's not even related to the track, but it just reminded me of something. Is that there's this band called Godsmack, and I think they have a song where they actually play something very similar to this. Wait. It's almost, I think, the same thing, but I can't remember which track is it, right? But I'm gonna say this again, like this. Like just by listening to it, you don't have to know anything about music theory like I do, because I don't know anything about that. But just by the sound, you know, I've learned something, and it is that trust your ears. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what mode or whatever it may be, what mode is it, what scale is it. Just hear the notes and let the notes and the sound of the notes tell you the story and where it leads you. Like is this a dark, gloomy story, or is this more on the happy side or whatnot, right? And this, to me, at least, it's definitely on the dark path. Like, and if you want to give it like the Middle Eastern swag to it, it will be like. Oh. Alright, so to finalize my commentary about the song, I just would like to mention the lyrics, of course, and you know, in comparison to Abracadabra, which was the previous track that I covered from this game, which also I'm going to be leaving in the description of this video, but also I'm going to leave it in this card right here. But wait, to just finish this video first, and then you can go there. Like the previous track was about an identity crisis or something along those lines, where the character, which seems to be the case for this track too, where the character is like singing or, you know, relating the story of the track. Like the lyrics are like the character speaking in a sense, and that happened to Abracadabra too, where I said that the character was going through an identity crisis, and she was comparing herself with zombies and whatnot. And in this particular one, it's not that at all. I think it's more a tale about revenge and retribution or something along those lines. I don't know what will be the reason for this. Maybe she was like a lab experiment, and she became like self-aware of the fact, and she hates everyone. I know she's very closely related to the zombies in some way. So I think that the zombies are like the only thing that not really understands her, but is the only thing that she can relate to, because the zombies and her are so closely related. And she's basically saying here like she's going to use that. Maybe the zombies are in her control, so she's going to use that to bring doom and oblivion to all the human race or something. Because let's read the first paragraph, and that's pretty much telling of what's going on. No one can see me, and I have lost all feeling. I know I won't die alone. I'll stop you from breathing, and all you're deceiving, and this house is not my home. So yeah, it's pretty clear there, isn't it? It's like she's giving the threat like, I know I won't die alone, because she's going to die with everybody, you know. It's basically saying like, I will die, but I will take everybody with me, something along those lines. And this house is not my home is very much the telling part, that she's saying like she feels like she doesn't belong in this world, and she would rather see it burned to the ground than living in it, or because probably everybody despises her or something along those lines. She says like, I've lost all feeling for some reason, maybe because she was like a lab experiment or something like that, or someone did something very bad to her and she feels like numb or something, and no one can see me because maybe everybody despises her, and the very sight of her, it's like revolting to other people or something like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, no more forgiveness, and the reason is I know I won't die alone. Yeah, I think it goes along the lines of just absolute revenge and retribution for something that she experienced. So it's not like I'm saying like she's the victim in here, because if you're an adult and you do something bad, you have to take responsibility of that. But one has to know why things happen, right? And probably she went through this route as a consequence of being really, really badly hurt, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this track a golden patch. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.